It's 5:30 in the morning. I had insomnia, so I got up, which of course meant the dogs wanted to get up. And because we were all up, that meant the dogs wanted to go outside. It's pouring rain outside. Uh, it's Wednesday morning. So we're all up and we're all doing morning chewies a little early. I might even get a fire going today since it's rainy outside. Hi, Tanner. Hi, buddy. And there's little Lola Bean. Hi, baby. I'm talking about you. Yes, I am. But yesterday was election day. And looking at the results this morning, I think Democrats won everything nationwide. Abigail Spanberger won governor of Virginia. Mikey Sherrill was elected the first woman as governor for the state of New Jersey. Zoran Mamdani elected mayor of New York City. Lots of other elections as well. Pennsylvania retained their three Democratic members of the state Supreme Court, which is huge heading into the midterms. Democrats won everything. And I made a couple of videos last night. I was just feeling pessimistic about the state of the Democratic Party and, you know, progressives and people like Zoran Mamdani as compared to APAC Democrats like Chuck Schumer, Richie Torres, Kirsten Gillibrand, Hakeem Jeffries. Chuck Schumer wouldn't even say out loud yesterday who he voted for, which means he voted for Andrew Cuomo. It means he didn't vote for Zoran Mamdani, his own party's nominee for mayor of New York City. And so I watched Zoran Mamdani's acceptance speech, victory speech last night, victory speech, I guess. And God bless this young man. He called Donald Trump out by name. He called Donald Trump out by name. Proposition 51 in California. That's huge. But it's just like in these times that we are living through right now, you know, I've often made the observation that the current Republican Party, the MAGA base, Donald Trump, that whole party is in lockstep behind him, period. There's no, if you disagree, you're out of the party, period. And elected Republicans go along with all of that because they're afraid of Donald Trump and because they're afraid of Donald Trump's base, because Donald Trump's base are crazy and violent people. If you disagree with him, if you vote against him and you're a Republican, they will issue death threats to you. They will threaten to kill you and your family. That doesn't exist on the left, but, you know. So elected Republicans fall in line because they're terrified of their base. Elected Democrats ignore their base. Elected Democrats don't give two shits about their base because they just have the attitude of who else are you going to vote for? You're going to vote for us, so shut up. Sit down and shut up. Zoran Mamdani won young men by 40 points. Young men who voted for Donald Trump in the 2024 election. Zoran Mamdani won them by 40 points. Zoran Mamdani ran a campaign that excited and invigorated and motivated young people, people under 35, people who, as near as I can tell, are pretty much lost to the Democratic establishment, and candidates like Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries and Kirsten Gillibrand, all from New York. Only one of them endorsed, and Richie Torres, only one of them endorsed Zoran Mamdani, who won the primary in June, and Hakeem Jeffries only endorsed him like a week ago. Because AIPAC won't let them. and they get their marching orders. They get their marching orders. Elected Democrats don't represent their base. Elected Democrats represent special interests. Elected Republicans represent whoever Donald Trump tells them to, because they're terrified of Trump's base. Elected Democrats don't give two shits what their base says or thinks or believes or wants. And, so I was just feeling really, I expected to feel better last night than I did. I expected to feel better last night than I did. And I didn't feel great because of these things that I'm talking about. I don't think the Democratic Party establishment is ever going to learn. I don't think the DNC is ever going to learn. I don't think either one of them is ever going to change. And I think that they are still going to continue to have this attitude towards their own base of, fuck you, who else are you going to vote for? Nobody. You're going to vote for us. So sit down and shut up, and you're going to do what we tell you to do. And that's why both parties mercilessly attack candidates like Zoran Mamdani and Graham Plattner, a Senate candidate up in Maine, who's got some issues, but all of the oppo shit that's been released on him over the last couple of months has come from Chuck Schumer and the Democratic Senate Campaign Committee, which is run by Chuck Schumer. That oppo research didn't come from Republicans. That oppo research came from Democrats, because Chuck Schumer wanted his 77-year-old candidate in that race. I think her name is Janet Mills, a very popular politician in the state of Maine, but she's 77 years old. She would be 79 when she's sworn in, if she wins that Senate race, making her the oldest freshman senator sworn in ever. Should be, elected Democrats, the DNC, Democratic establishment, they don't give two shits what their own voters want. They don't care. They don't care. And that's why Zoran Mamdani was such a threat to the Democratic Party establishment. He's a threat to Republicans because their base is so brainwashed by right-wing media. All they have to say is he's a socialist and not even look at the policies that he's promoting before they decide that he's Satan. Plus, he's the first Muslim mayor of New York City ever. The fact that he's Muslim and socialist, I mean, Fox News couldn't ask for a better boogeyman than him. And the billionaire class hates him because one of the things that he campaigns on is, I don't know, maybe corporations should pay people, living wages such that when they're working full time for these major corporations, they don't also qualify for food stamps. The greed of a handful of incredibly wealthy white men is going to completely destroy this country. And so it's like we've got corporatist APAC Democrats versus authoritarian oligarch Republicans. And those are our two parties now, neither one of whom represents the people who actually live in this country. But the Republican base is so brainwashed into believing that immigrants and trans kids are the cause of all of their problems, as opposed to the billionaires who refuse to pay them and want to take away OSHA and want to take away workplace safety and want to take away overtime and paid family leave. That the Republican base just focuses their hatred on other Americans who are either at their level or earn less than them and say, those are the problems, immigrants. I don't feel hope for this country.